If you had a knee replacement more than 2 months ago and your knee still feels stiff, stop doing basic heel slides. They're not enough anymore. At this point, the scar tissue is more mature, your brain may be protecting your knee, and you need a different type of stimulus. In this video, I'll show you a 5-step remodeling process to finally get your knee feeling better again. Step 1 will be to address the scar tissue in your knee. We're going to use a manual therapy treatment called Instrument-Assisted Soft Tissue Mobilization, or IASTM. This is a gua sha tool. They come in various sizes and shapes, and you can buy them rather inexpensively on Amazon. Now, to do this, you want to make sure that your scar is completely healed, because we are going to be rubbing right over top of the scar, and if it is open, there's a chance you could get infected. So make sure that it is completely closed. We're going to go first just right up and down over top of the scar and go in all different directions. This isn't like a swelling massage where you only want to come back towards the heart. We're going to go towards the heart, away from the heart, go from the sides of the scar outwards, and again, make sure it's completely closed so that you're not pulling it open when you're doing this. You'll go from the other direction, going like that on either side of the scar. Now we're going to find the kneecap. So put your fingers around the kneecap until you can kind of locate the edges of that bone. Then you're going to kind of move sideways. Now a note with the tool position, you don't want to be completely at a 90-degree angle like that. You also don't want to be at a parallel. You want to be at about a 30-degree angle, more flat than upright. So kind of scraping down like that. And you should feel little crinkling sensations. Those are little adhesions where the scar tissue has built up. And when we're doing this, we're not manually breaking up the scar, so you don't have to push all that hard. Really what we're doing is just disrupting some microvasculature or capillaries that are non-functional. And when you break up those small blood vessels, it releases some chemicals into your system. That stimulates cells called macrophages to come in and eat up the old dead tissue, and other cells called fibroblasts to come in and lay down new healthy tissue. So we're going to go all around the kneecap, go along the joint lines, so up and down along the ligaments on the side of the joints, on the inside of the knee as well, going up and down the joint that way. And we're also going to work on the muscles. So go up the quadriceps, the outsides of the quadriceps by the IT band. And again, go both directions, both towards you and away from you. You may feel more adhesions going one way than going the other, and that's the reason why we go both ways. Go more towards the front of the quadriceps as well, on the inside of the quadriceps, and even into the adductors, the inner thigh muscles. Go behind the knee, so cradle it behind your hamstrings like this and pull towards you this way. If you do get some friction on your skin and it feels uncomfortable, you can use cocoa butter or something else to lubricate the skin. And then go back towards the knee as well. And then we're going to go down into the calves, pull up that way along the outside of the calf and the back of the calf, and along the inside of the calf as well. And again, go both directions, both towards you and away from you. Now, that alone is not enough. After we've kind of caused that scar tissue to start a remodeling process, we want to stimulate the fibroblasts to lay down the new healthy tissue along the lines that it should be moving in sort of a parallel fashion. That'll come in step 3. But step number 2, we want to decrease the muscle guarding, which also may be causing pain and stiffness. To do that, we'll use a massage gun. Any old massage gun will do, but if you don't have one yet, I do like the Bob & Brad X6 Pro. The reason for that is it has a metal head, which can get really deep into the muscles. You'll turn the massage gun on, and then we're going to massage the quadricep muscles, and again, going on all different parts of it along the outside of the quadricep, along the front of the quadricep, along the inside of the quadricep. I'm going a little bit faster than you'd probably go. You want this whole process to take about 5 minutes to hit all of these muscle groups. So go a little bit slower, hold it for a little bit longer. Now you're going to go across the back of the hamstrings, right down the middle of the hamstrings where the sciatic nerve is. It can be a little bit tender, so just be a little bit careful there. You go on the inside of the hamstrings as well, on the inner thigh muscles, the adductors, and then along the back of the calves. Again, the outside, the back part, and the inside. And again, do that for about 5 minutes in total, hitting all those different muscle groups. For step number 3, we want to do repetitive active exercise to encourage your body to lay down new tissue in a more organized fashion. There's a principle known as the SAID principle, or specific adaptations to impose demands, which basically means your body will lay down new tissue according to the forces that are opposed upon it. That means you want to do repetitive exercise using your own muscles. You don't want one of those bikes that pedals for you. Also, a continuous passive motion machine that you may have gotten after surgery is not enough at this point. You actually want to do the work using your own muscles. Now, if your knee has gotten really stiff, you may need something more than just an under-the-desk pedal bike like this. That's where using a recumbent bike can come in handy. You can use your good leg to assist your stiff leg over the top, and if you can't quite get the pedals all the way around, you can just go halfway, and then go around the other way, and then go around the other way, and just keep doing half revolutions until you're able to get the pedal all the way around. Now, as a note, you'll probably be able to get all the way around backwards first, and that first time it may kind of snap around a little bit, so just be prepared for that. But usually after you get it around the first time, it's much easier to continue pedaling. And like I said, you'll probably be able to pedal backwards first, and then once you do that, switch directions and try pedaling forwards. Now, for people who have really stiff knees, sometimes they find the exercise bike too difficult at first, and so many people will prefer using a stepper like this one. You'll see these in gyms or in physical therapy clinics. The most common brand is the New Step, but this one is called a teeter-free step. It's a commercial grade home model. And the nice thing about these is that it gives you more of a linear fashion. So rather than having to get over that arc at the top with the exercise bike, these are more of a straight back and forth stepping motion. You can also kind of use your arms to assist, but many people find this type of motion to be much easier on the knee than having to do that arcing motion over the top on the recumbent bike. For step number 4, we're going to do slow eccentric exercise. And what eccentric means is that your muscles are producing force while they're lengthening. That causes a micro tearing of scar tissue, and eccentric exercise has been shown to help with tissue remodeling. But it's hard to do, and it can also be painful. That's why I'd recommend starting with less than full body weight, using something like a great flex machine or a total gym, or you can use a leg press machine at the gym. But to do eccentric strengthening, you want to select a weight that's lighter than your body weight and then do a slow 5-second controlled lowering. Then to maximize the stretch at the bottom position, hold that bottom position for 5 seconds. Again, that's why we're using less than full body weight to start out, and then push back up over 2 seconds. So 5 seconds, slow, controlled lowering, hold the bottom stretch position for 5 seconds, and then push back up over 2 seconds. This gets your muscles used to lengthening and stretching and makes them feel safer in their lengthened or stretched position. That also triggers your brain that it's okay to get into that deeper stretch. And oftentimes doing this type of exercise will allow you to get deeper than just doing something like a heel slide. So again, 5 seconds down, 5 seconds hold at the bottom, and then 2 seconds back up. And then finally, we're going to move that slow, controlled, eccentric strengthening into more of a functional standing position. You're still going to do a 5-second lowering, but just pause for 1 second at the bottom stretch position and then come back up over 1 second. 5-second lower, 1 second pause at the bottom, and then 1 second to stand back up. I would recommend starting by a sink so you can use your hands as needed to help you with that slow, controlled lowering, to help you keep balanced at the pause at the bottom, and then to help you get back up as needed, but only use your hands as much as you need to. Try to make your legs do most of the work. And then when you feel comfortable, you can start doing it without holding on with your hands to develop further strength. So hopefully you did find these tips helpful. Let me know in the comments which one you like best. And if you'd like more tips to help after knee replacement, check out this playlist over here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.